Hi, I'm Phil from Three Highs Beekeeping. I'm putting together just a few videos on why I'm using the equipment and the setup I'm using in regards to the beehives. And um, for me, I'm new to beekeeping and I haven't got any bees yet, but for the last 12 months I've just been researching, and it's pretty hard for a newcomer to sort of decide what to use and the reasons why you want to use what you're going to use, sort of thing. Um, First, I want to talk about I think which is the heart of the hive, which is the frames. I'm going to use foundationless frames, and you see just a strip along there. You can add wax to it if you want. I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it raw and see how the bees go. Um, yeah. So why foundationless? Well, I think it makes sense to me that the bees know what they want. So if you put foundation in there, you've already decided what size cells the bees are to build. You've also possibly contaminated your hive if the wax that you put in has chemicals in it. So there's a lot of different reasons why I think it's best. It's also better because if they can build their own cell sizes, whether they want drones or just worker bees, or even I think the difference in size is very small between foundation, but I think they've found that a foundation will be a bit above 5 mil, whereas standard bees will build their cells to about 4.3, I think, from memory. But so it's all that thing, and I think that also helps with the health of the hive. I think they've found where they've done studies and they can control the mites better with the cell sizes being smaller. Um, One of the reasons also is there's less work involved. With foundation, you have to obviously put your wire in, you have to put wire across here, put your eyelets in either end so it doesn't pull through. That's more costs involved as well. So to me, it just makes sense to don't worry about it. Um, what else? Also, once they have built up on the comb, there's the ability to cut the wax straight out with honey. So you've got honeycomb. That's another product that can be sold. Um, they also tend to develop more drones, and people a lot of the time or beekeepers see that as a bad thing. But but well, the more drones, the more drones that are going to be flying in a DCA, which is a drone congregation area. So the genetic diversity of the bees is increased if there's more drones. So I think for a general overall view to be better, is it's going to maintain bee populations all over the world, which we know are struggling. So from that perspective, it's a good thing as well. Well, I mean, there are disadvantages. One of them being I wouldn't say it's harder to harvest, but from what I've researched, it's going to be, they're a lot more delicate, obviously. Once they're fully drawn out, and I'm only using WSP, so I'm using a normal full deep frame will be, I think, 245, where I'm using only 192, so they're a fair bit smaller. But once they're drawn out, you'd think that that's going to be strong enough for me to put into a extractor and extract the honey with no problems. Cross combing is another thing that they say that our bees will do, and I think that's if you can keep your hive nice and level. I've heard that they'll just draw down nice and level, and I guess you can, if you find it, you can fix it. So it's not a massive problem. Whereas if you're someone who just wants to set and forget your beehive, which you shouldn't do anyway, you probably shouldn't use foundationless. But for me, I'm going to maintain my hives fairly well. So maintaining, inspecting them. So hopefully I can, if I catch it quick enough, I can fix that cross combing up. The other downside is they think they produce slightly less honey than foundation. That's because there's more drone cells. So I guess they take up. No, it's probably not the room. It's more so the drones need to be fed. So they're going to eat the honey in the hive. The lazy buggers don't get out and fly around and get their own food, so they're going to be eating the honey, and I think that's one of the reasons why they produce less honey with foundationless. Yeah, that's about it. So, as I said, I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do things. It comes back to your motivations, why you're doing it, and there's more than one ways to do things. I think you need to keep a pretty open mind with beekeeping, because you should be able to always change your opinion based on the information that you've given. That's about it for this. I'll put another video up soon. Thanks.